People tend to look everywhere for help besides the source that can actually help and save them themselves, working from the light and divinity bestowed to them by the divine and supreme creator, the Most High Mother and Father. And if that is something new to you, I just ask that you at least just stay to hear what I have to say on the matter. Because now is the time, globally, where this message really is going to hit home for a lot of people. Because if you don't realize that, with everything happening in the state of the state, you would definitely feel lost, confused, have anxiety, overwhelmed, and completely helpless. Because when you look around, it doesn't seem like there is much help to be given or had. Because everyone is in survival mode and looking out for their own best interest. And it doesn't have to be that way, y'all. We can lean on each other. We can lean on people who are in alignment with us, people who are remembering and becoming empowered with us because they have remembered that the key to everything is in source. It is the light within us that no matter how much life tries to diminish, that is kept intact, that is kept bright, that cannot be erased, even if held in captivity by the confinements of our own mind. You know, if you look at the history, exploitation jumps from systems and systems. And to me, it seems like the latest system of confinement is our mind. And what better way to keep people confined than to convince them that they have no power, no self-agency, that they have to rely on the government, that they have to rely on foundations, that they have to rely on their jobs, that they have to rely on their husband or wife, that they have to rely on other people to save them, to make their lives better. When you have that thought process that everything that I need to make me better is outside of me, you are inherently starting off from a weakness. You are inherently starting off by saying, I am not enough. I don't have what I need, so therefore I have to go find it somewhere else in order to help make me happy, to help make me peaceful, to help make me joyful. And when you have that stance, that approach in life, you will hit a brick wall because it is not moving in alignment with how God, the divine creator, designed us to be. And we just have to remember that. We just have to remember and have enough belief in ourselves that we can actually be good creators, that we can co-create with the Most High God, that we can be just as expressive, just as beautiful, and just as discerning as the Most High God. I know that's what I struggled with. I struggled in trusting myself in my decisions because over the course of my life, people and society and school and systems and the media taught me that my discernment always should be questioned, that I always had to validate it through what the media was saying, what the public was saying, what other people were saying, what my peers were saying, that I always had to question what I was thinking. I always had to check with others. But when in reality, it's actually the opposite. You always check inside first. You always ask yourself, how does that make me feel? You always should ask yourself, well, what do I really want, truly and honestly with myself? And is that possible? Is it feasible? What limitations are there to me achieving that? You have to focus in yourself. You have to be the source. You have to be the sun. And everything else needs to orbit around that. You have to listen to your inner voice, your divine voice. And you have to be intentional in developing a relationship with the supreme and divine creator, the Most High Mother and Father. That is how you save yourself, is choosing to serve yourself, choosing to water yourself, choosing to be sovereign in yourself. It sounds so simple, y'all, but it is actually one of the hardest things to do in a dark matrix that teaches you the exact opposite and then punishes you for moving in that way, where your truth stands and everything else needs discernment. The system isn't set up for that. And I know we get a lot of resistance, y'all. And so that resistance might make you think, if we're responding to resistance and flow, that resistance, if you start choosing yourself and you start insisting that others have to respect that, your boundaries, what you want for in your life, what you expect from them in terms of connection, and they resist that, you lose friends, people make it hard for you, bad things start happening to you, then you might start thinking, then I'm doing something wrong because no one wants to be around me. Everything around me is collapsing. But what is actually happening is that because you're changing, your 3D reality is restructuring in response to that changed reality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you timeline jump from different versions of yourself. If you are a ball of energy and you say, I choose this for myself, I'm returning to myself in truth. I'm returning to myself in clarity. I'm returning to myself in peace. I am reinstalling divine codes as God created to me to be, to smile and to be focused and to be calm no matter what distortion, no matter what chaos, no matter what obstacles are in my life. This is my choice and I get to make it. Matrix doesn't like that. But I really need y'all to understand you're actually doing good. Especially given what's going on now. Because I have to tell y'all, and I've been talking to God about it. The better that I do, the more timelines that I jump, the harder it's getting. And it won't always be that way, but it is right now. Because the darkness wants to stay, but the light is flowing in too strongly. And that story is old. Their timeline is up, but they are going to resist like all get out before they decide to leave this place called Earth, even though Mother Gaia wants them gone, okay? And what that means is when they see those of us who are remembering and choosing ourselves and choosing to save ourselves, literally, our spirits. This ain't about your body with these parasites. This is about your spirit. When you're choosing to ascend, we're choosing to be in alignment with the Most High God and the divine creator. We are choosing to save our souls, our spirits. And when the matrix gets wind of that, it is going to start bucking on you. So stay strong. Keep walking forward. Be the light in the dark. Don't let others convince you to turn around and go back because it's safer. Because the reality is, it might feel safe, but it is actually prison. You are imprisoned in the dark. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it ain't real. So save yourself. Choose yourself. Stand for yourself. Love yourself and love the people around you. And create the type of household, the type of family, the type of community that brings you the joy that God intends for you. All praise to the Most High God. Love. to the mother.